Good morning and welcome to round 7 of the Cape Town Masters Challenge. We are here today to watch and analyze and look at some quality chess. I was going to say commemorate the players, but we're always commemorating the players. What is a day without player commemoration, really? Okay, so as we usually do it, we'll go through the pairings of this round, talk about the score, what would happen, if certain results were to take place, and yeah, going forward then, taking a look at the games, looking at openings, trying to analyze. What I was gonna do is just have a board up and the whole camera. I think that's the most important thing. Of course, you can just look at the games without me, like that. You don't need that, but probably for the whole cams, you would probably need to watch the stream. So what I wanted to do then was, take the time to write the article for day 3. That was yesterday, which I haven't quite had the time to do because when I went to sleep last night, because the stream ended quite late last night, I went to sleep at about 10 and I was going to wake up at 5, woke up at 5, could not for the life of me get out of bed. It was impossible. And I was like, is this what burnout feels like? And then decided to just rest a little bit more, which I thought was important. But now I feel very well rested. And yeah, I think that it was much needed sleep. So I will probably write the article between the rounds instead of what I wanted to do, which was, have the whole cam up and then write. But I need to edit the interviews. I also need to edit the photos that I took yesterday. And I want everything to be perfect, so I'll do that between the rounds, between rounds 7 and 8. And then by the time round 8 rolls around, we'll have the interviews available, we'll have the blog post available for day 3, and it is getting hot really quickly. It is barely 10 a.m. and it is warm. So I will be taking more frequent breaks as well. But you don't need me when the chess speaks for itself, as one very famous grandmaster once said. So yeah, we'll focus more on the games, and I will be talking. I will be here. I will be present, and then of course I'll do the little admin-y things in between the games, which I don't mind. It's something I do want to start and finish. I don't just want to give up halfway through. But hello everyone in chat. It's good to see you. It's a bright new day and a brand new morning, and it's hard to have terrible results in chess and then come back from that. And I think a good night's sleep and, a full belly is often a good way to go in terms of trying to clear your mind and going into a new day of chess with a brand new outlook. And I think that's what some players are doing after, not having the games that they wanted yesterday. And of course, it's also hard going into a new day knowing that you have a bounty on your head. You've been performing well up to this point, and it's only going to get harder from then. And I think that's how some players are feeling on the top boards today. It was most magical and no sleep yet. I have another 9 hours or so before I see my bed. What? 9 hours? How are you going to function? Lungelo, good to see you. Morning, guys. It's Keith Keithansky Kamalo playing in the tournament. No, he is not playing, but he has visited the channel quite a few times, saying hello and stuff in support of the commentary and stuff. RDT, thank you so much for the follow. Chained to the bed. Hi RDT and Lungelo, thanks for the follow. Kieran, are you covering the Blitz as well? I'm not sure if the Blitz will be played on DGT, but it would be fun to participate in the Blitz if I'm allowed to. But for now I have my cup of coffee and my peanut butter filled pretzel pillows, which I never knew existed until it was given to me. So thank you for because I like pretzels and I like peanut butter, so it's like the best combination this world has ever seen. It's cold as heck and snowy here. Bring the snow here. I'd always want to pile on the layers. Not entirely possible to do the opposite because of Twitch. And also, I have standards. Bill, thank you so much for the follow. And Morning Tundo, how are you? We are missing our photographer. We're having mediocre pictures being taken by yours truly until, the professional has returned. So, yeah, Tando, I took some photos yesterday and I still need to edit them for the article, but really, I'm hoping that I can do it justice. It will not be the same level of quality that your photos are, but I've tried my best. I won't have to function too much, just sit here a while away and while away the hours. I've never heard the word while being used in that context. I have almond butter filled pretzel pillows. No way! That's amazing. I love almonds. Yeah, I had almond nougat the other day. It was one of my mom's Christmas gifts, which I stole one or two of. Say no more. I shall say no more. TOS. Who's the highest rated player in the tournament? Alright, so that's exactly what we'll be getting to today. Nightwolf, good to see you as well. Alright, so let's chat about the pairings for round 7. Round 7, we have only one player on 5.5 who is the clear leader by only half a point, and that is none other than the player who has been surprising us the most this event with uncanny accuracy in his games. And really, I had a chat with him briefly just before the games started. I said to him, you are nicknamed now the champion. We need to have an interview with you later. And he seemed quite in good spirits after that. And so he's on 5.5 out of 6, unbeaten, unscathed, and in second position right now, also clear with 5 points, is Jan Karsten, who had 2 draws, one against Kanya Mazibuko and one against Charlton Nyaster. I think he's realized that his competition is definitely, in this tournament, it's hard to beat someone who is playing just really, really well and is putting pressure, on with every opportunity that they get, they grab it. So on board 1, we have Kanya Mazibuko with the 5.5 points versus Craig Willenberg with 4.5 points. So Craig, I think in the last round, drew against Watu Kabesi, which pushed him all the way to board 1. He's sitting on a plus 15 at the moment, and his rating is 2050. So his rating performance is 2150, which is quite nice to see. Honestly, I'm surprised Craig is not in the, SA closed and, in the lineup of being able to play in the Olympiad team. He has shown some amazing chess, his chess prowess over the past couple of years, and I think over his whole chess career. I don't really know much about the past, but from what I've seen, of course. And on board 2, we have Watu Kabesi playing with the white pieces against Jan Karsten. And I think this is the last sort of game that Jan has against someone who is roughly, 100-point difference within his rating range. I might be wrong. So Jan has played against Charlton Nyaster, who's a 2100. Okay, let's say a 200 rating range. Matvey Rogov, who is a 2200, and now Watu Kabesi. So, yeah, Charlton Nyaster is S number 5, so seed number 5, Matvey's seed number 2, and seed number 3, and Watu seed number 2. Who's seed number 4 is my question. So I think seed number 4. It is Calvin. So Jan Karsten has not yet played Calvin, who is on 4 points on board 3. So Watu's playing Jan, so that's a game to definitely look out for today. I think this game is really, really important. It it could pretty much, I know there are only there are still 3 rounds left, but this game might, of course, sort of tell us what the podium is going to look like. Of course, we're getting closer to the end of the tournament, but this will be a very exciting and high quality game to look at. So are all the others. I'm talking nonsense. Board 3, we have Matvey Rogov with 4 points, and against Calvin Klaassen with 4 points. And so there are 2 players on 4.5. So 1 on 5.5, 1 on 5, 2 on 4.5, and that is Craig and Watu. And 7 players on 4 out of 6, which is an amazing score. Matvey Rogov, Calvin Klaassen, Regan Palmer, Charlton Nyaster, Edward Potgieter, and Tyler Nevin Kenny Willenberg. So there are 2 Willenbergs. In the top 6 boards, we have Kenny Willenberg and Craig Willenberg, brothers, both really good. And it seems like Kenny is playing Charles de Villiers, Edward Potgieter is playing Tyler Nevin, Regan Palmer is playing Charlton Nyaster. This is just going to be a very, very exciting round. But going down, just looking at the top 12 boards, which are all the DGTs that we could take a look at today, is Tiziano Nyaster versus James Dinham, Ethan Samuels versus Showan Kleinsmith, Waylon Brander versus Jora Suje, Luto Mfazwe versus Brooklyn Waguta, Minentle Mswabe, I'm really sorry for botching the pronunciation, against Shabir Bawoudin, Bongeletu Telo, I hope I got that right, versus Jiran Braf. And then just on board 13, we have Ruben Salimu, who was one of our victims in the interviews, versus Albrecht van Zyl. It's a very tough tournament. I mean, to see players I don't even think I would perform very well against in the middle of the field after round 6. Maybe it was a good idea that I didn't play. And one of the too long don't read answers to people asking me, but why aren't you playing? You're right there at the venue, you're broadcasting the event, but you could have played. And to that I answered, to those who can't play. Wait, that's not what I said. I said, those who can't play, stream. That's what I said. Yep. Word for word. Okay. It is still quite early in the morning and my coffee's only halfway. You know what they say. So my coffee's here. They say, don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Okay, I'll listen. And yes, you can start talking. Or I will respond or something along those lines. I'm bad at, telling you what memes say, but yeah, that was basically it. Alrighty. Jesse's questions slay. Yes, I am the question slayer. Of course I am. Alright, so those are the pairings for the round. And on camera, we can see on board 1, Kanye Mazibuko versus Craig Willenberg. On board 2, I'm just sort of talking about who we can see in frame, standing on the right-hand side, watching the games. Is that Charles de Villiers watching? I'm not entirely sure. We can't really see his face. But I think it is. I think it is Charles. And then we have Watu sitting. I love this sort of, I feel like it's a global or like international thing that just all chess players do, is form a sort of peak cap or like a hood over their eyes. 1, to stop them from being distracted. 2, to stop their opponent from looking at their eyes to sort of, weigh where they're looking on the board. And for me, it's mostly distractions. And 3, something I also do is take a nap. So it's one of these 3 things, though I think at this stage of the tournament, if you take a nap, that in itself is a blunder. 2 question marks. It will deserve 2 question marks. And we see Showan Kleinsmith yawning, swallowing the camera hole there at the back. Excuse me, and Calvin Klaassen and Matvey in frame as well. I really want to have more cameras set up. One of the players who are playing in the Masters section stopped me outside of the venue this morning saying, "So when are you going to give us lower boards attention? All you do is focus on the top boards." And I said, if I had the means to do so, I would. But one, I don't have a camera, an extra camera, and two, I don't have your live transmission because you're playing on the other plastic boards, which I am sad about. Of course, if it was up to me, I would want all the boards to be DGT. It does give us commentators more work, but I wouldn't complain. We'd be able to check out literally any game. Okay, and now for the chess. Let's check out what opening was played between Craig and Kanya and go from there. All right, so if we were to retreat, we have knight f3, the Reti, and Kanya just copied. I mean, it's a very common way to go about it. I love this d4 move. Very unorthodox. If we were to take a look at the opening name, my watch thinks I'm stressed, but it's probably just my body trying to regulate the heat. So it says Reti opening, King's Indian attack, symmetrical defense, walls defense. That is a lot. That's like someone with 6 names. It's like Georgiano, Rapido, Ricardo, Shelley, I don't know. Yeah. So luckily, my mom only gifted me with 2 names and 1 last name. So if this was a person's name, they would have 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd say 4 names. But I'm going to stop talking nonsense because that's usually something that I'm good at doing. Knight c4. So knight c4 was played. I often would think here, in a position like this, you would have to play a4 first to stop or just prophylactically prevent here b5 if knight c4. Knight c4 seems rather common. And e5 is not even possible. So here I would have thought a4. But knight b3, c3, or a4 seems to be the front runners. But okay, knight c4 was played, c5, a4. Okay, it happened anyway, so it doesn't matter. Knight c6 and e4. Closing down the position, also giving black the chance to en passant, which unfortunately in chess is not forced. I would love for it to be forced, but it is not. Rook to e8 and e5. Huge committal move. This usually means that no pawn can back up this pawn for now. The d3 pawn is stuck, and the only way to defend this pawn and make it look like it is not an isolated pawn is to play f4 later. We will probably expect a rook e1. If knight d7, then just e6. And it's better for white. So instead he plays knight d5. Why don't they wear sunglasses instead? I think it's possible to wear sunglasses. It's frowned upon. There was someone when I was playing in the junior nationals who always wore these reflective sunglasses, which was so funny. Jessie Nikki Februarius. You don't need them inside. Well, it's to prevent your opponent from looking at your eyes. But I suppose sunglasses wouldn't stop you from getting distracted, right? So to eliminate distractions and to try not to pay attention to anything but the board. It's like blinkers, but for humans. Sanchara, thank you so much for the follow. Poker Shades. Funny, Hipside. Are sunglasses considered sports glasses? Not that we have any dress code, so it's fine. Queen e2, h6, h4. All right. So white's plan is probably to get a sort of Reti kind of setup. I think that's what he's going for here. the knight might be on the wrong side of the board to execute this Reti. I wouldn't say it's a Reti maneuver, but sort of idea, which is to try and gain some space on the king side. So maybe knight h2 f4 is this idea. I thought maybe knight just h4 immediately. Knight h4 and you can play f4 and bring the knight back. And obviously g5 provokes a weakness here in black's camp, especially on the light squares. So yeah, knight h4 I would have thought was a good way to go. h4 is quite interesting. And black responds with a move that here is considered a mistake, though I'm not entirely sure why. Perhaps white can continue with this move. Maybe black was supposed to play h5. Oh, it says that black should play bishop g4 here, which seems very natural because nothing can kick the bishop. But maybe he just wanted to add protection to the knight on d5. I think I'm awake. That's good, Waterfall. Hi, awake. I'm hipside. Good Merlin. Good Merlin's beard. Waterfall. Pew pew. Hey, the real Mr. Trees here. How are you? Wrong game, but right idea. So now it suggests that white should go for something like h5. Reason being, if black responds with g5, no way! Bishop takes g5! No way players will play this though. I mean, it's impossible to see a way forward here. It's impossible. Like, what is the plan? What is the plan? Maybe the fact that none of the pieces can come back to defend and the queen is completely locked out. Maybe that's the plan with the idea of bishop e4. Whoa, h6 and queen h5, bishop e4, and it's over. Also with the ideas of f4, f5. I'm shook. Ah! There's a fly in this very small room. I am shook. Amazing. Hey, Double Jared, how are you? Bishop g4 indirectly defends d5. Knight temporarily. Okay. Merlin's beard. Speaking of wizards, I need to get back to Harry Potter 6 soon. I'm still on Harry Potter 2. I got distracted by the book by Ali Hazelwood, which is Check and Mate, and then I was reading some other chess books. I'm fantastic. How are you? Fantastic. That's amazing. Why are you fantastic? Well, I suppose the question would be, why am I not fantastic? I'm tired, but I'm really excited to be here. And this is a passion project that I'm seeing through. Bishop d2, another mistake. Okay. Yeah, I genuinely think that he didn't see a way after h5. Because being able to spot bishop takes g5 is just super GM vibes. Hey C6, how are you? Check and Mate, a dating book. It's a novel. It's like a fan fiction novel. Not really fan fiction. I think Ali makes a note of saying in the book that any resemblance to any sort of chess players is just pure coincidence and it's not based on anyone real. There is mention of real chess players, but not directly, more like in passing. They talk about Garry Kasparov and whatnot. But yeah, it's a very like soppy chick flicky book, which I'm usually not reading a lot of, but it was nice, like a bubblegum read. Like it's a feel-good read. The author isn't a chess player, and that becomes very apparent the more you read it. but she gets some things right. Had a date that went great, and now have a second one. Ooh, congratulations. That's amazing. That's always a good thing. Congratulations. Smut. Smut? What's smut? What not? Don't know them. Are they Danish? I'm so confused. All right, so this is the current position between Craig Willenberg and Kanya Mazibuko. Let's move on to board number 2, where Watu is no longer sitting down. And I said this was a game that we should definitely watch closely. It is showing minus 1.9 for Jan. Jan is not even looking at the board. He's like, hang on a second. Am I seeing this correctly? What makes bishop d2 a mistake? I think what chess.com does is weighs mistakes in terms of either it's a blunder or it is the absence of a good move. So right now, I think what he missed was an opportunity to gain an advantage. So it's not a bad move. He just missed out on playing a really good move. So it's not a blunder. It's just like, hey, you could have played something better, but you didn't. So yeah, he's not lost after this. He's just equal. But Kanya could also play something that offers Craig this opportunity again. But if he didn't see it the first time around, and he's not at the board, perhaps, he will just try to, break through by playing c3 at some stage, or playing knight h2. We don't really know yet. What was the brilliant move? Well, I don't think there are any brilliant moves yet. Oh, you meant the absence of a brilliant move. Well, it's not a brilliant move, just capitalizing on the advantage, which was h5. And then we spoke about, g5 and bishop takes g5. So, yeah, bishop takes g5, pawn takes g5. And we were saying that all the pieces are sort of locked out. This is the only piece here to defend the king. h6 is coming, queen h5 is coming, bishop e4 is coming. So, like, all these moves will end up, just being to white's advantage. So, bishop d2. Now, let's check out the game between Watu Kabesi, who's playing with the white pieces, versus Jan. And it started with, Watu playing the King's Gambit. Where is Glamdring when you need him? King's Gambit. We never see the King's Gambit at this level. Never, never, never. He's definitely put a lot of thought into this opening. He's like, how am I going to surprise my opponent? And I knew, for a fact, as soon as I saw f4, he wanted to have fun with this. So he took his opponent by surprise. Watu is deep in thought now, so Jan did make a move. No, he didn't. He just maybe went to the bathroom and he came back and he's like, I still need to analyze this position. But the bar drops back 0 after h5. Oh, it didn't adjust in time. Okay, wait, let's just do this. h5. It drops back down, but then it goes back up, I think. Wait for it. What was the move then? No, h5 is the move. Yeah. And then knight d4, and then I think it goes up again. There we go. It's going up. Okay. Well, I'm just wrong, maybe. Or chess.com is wrong. When in doubt, it's not me, it's chess.com. Yeah, I gotcha baited. Finally, is this a real opening, Hipside? Bro thinks he's Hikaru. No! Well, in this tournament, he's Hikaru. Let's be real. d5. d5! Takes on d5, takes on f4. I can't believe it. This is amazing. I love it. Oh, man, I love this kind of chess. Chess you never thought you'd see. Yet we're seeing it right now, live. This is incredible. I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so knight f6. Bishop to b5 check. Like, things are chaotic from the start. Like I said, this was definitely a game we needed to keep an eye on. Takes, Knight takes, d4. Wow. I think they're still in prep. Bishop e6, so really well played here by Jan so far. Given that he probably didn't expect the King's Gambit at all. So knight g5 by Watu, castles, both brilliant moves. And after captures queen b6, another brilliant move. Well, not brilliant, but like excellent move. 3 excellent moves for Jan in a row. Look at that. Bishop e6, castles, and queen b6, all exclams. And then after bishop takes e6, what is he supposed to play? Apparently here, he's supposed to take with the pawn. But he took with the queen, which equalizes. I do not understand. You're capturing back. And you're probably capturing back in a way that doesn't compromise your pawn structure. Maybe there is a way for Watu to gain a tempo in this position, perhaps? Aha! So the move that Watu needs to play here is actually bishop takes f4. But I don't understand this move. Bishop takes f4. Bishop takes f4. Oh, maybe you castle. Okay, and here you castle. It's crazy. You don't take back because obviously rook e8. So, castle. You're attacking the bishop, you're attacking the knight. And then the bishop has to take on h2. I am just so taken aback. Of course, we're going to have a huge imbalance in terms of king takes h2, pawn takes, and here we have 5 pawns. Wait, there's no imbalance. They're completely equal. Okay, I do not understand this. I think we need to get an expert in here. It's like, is anyone a doctor? Yes, I'm a doctor of mathematics. Well, he's dying. Okay, -1. But yeah, we need a professional in here. Hey, sub robot. Good to see you. So many pogs. Clearly, they prefer to be playing marbles. Oh, hey, Giant Pixels. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Bury the castle. Bury the castle. Yeah, Monka, is not following. Oh, that is so funny. That is so funny. There we go. 3 years, 2 months, and 13 days. I'm not following myself? Well, that's sad. Happy Saturday indeed. Yeah. It is Three Kings Day in Germany. I have some bad news. There are only 2 kings on a chessboard. Or possibly 4. There are 4 kings on the chessboard. Possibly 2, possibly 3. I love the 3 years, 2 months. You guys are true supporters. GP and I have been following the same amount of time. You followed on the same day, huh? Coda knows how to follow himself. We need to create a Twitch account for Coda. That doesn't look like a valid username. Kipo. Kipo. It's like Kappa, but Kipo, okay. Pawns can be promoted to king? Well, no, I was referring to if 2 gentlemen are playing chess against each other, they are the kings, and you have 2 kings on the board. 2 ladies are playing against each other, you have 4 queens, 2 kings. You know what I mean? And so on. Same hour even. So you were following at exactly the same time. So you were here during the Among Us stream. Created the Twitch account to stream the Among Us. That was fun. Sabuj. Yeah. Okay, so queen takes c6 was the last move that was played. I think Watu is seriously considering capturing or perhaps just castling immediately. I think if he castles, let's quickly just see what the evaluation is. It's not bad at all. Rook ae8, and perhaps he doesn't get the pawn immediately. He has to play something along the lines of queen f3 or queen d3, and then he can take on f4 later. But I think another thing crossing Watu's mind right now is perhaps his underdevelopment at the moment. So technically he's up a piece for the moment, and if he were to take the rook, just rook e8, not rook takes. So he's trying to figure it out for the time being. If he takes the pawn and rook e8, then he needs to castle. If he takes the pawn and bishop takes, he needs to castle. Wait, maybe in this case, he can actually just take the bishop, can't he? No, he has to castle. Okay, in every instance, he has to castle, it looks like. But he's definitely thinking about his king and development as the top priority, not necessarily keeping the material, because the moment you want to be greedy, keep material or capture material, you'll be in serious danger. All right, so let's look at board 3, who is Matvey Rogov versus Calvin Klaassen. Here's Calvin's chance to gain back the rating he's lost in this event so far, which isn't much, I don't believe, but it's always nice to be able to break even in a very strong tournament, and after that, of course, focus on then gaining some rating and just playing some good chess. But lots of exchanges have happened. We are on move number 15 only, so lots of exchanges have happened, but let's see. So we have an exchange variation in the Queen's Gambit. When I made fun of your voice, I never made fun of your voice. I said it sounded timid. It doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Since when is timid a bad thing? Is Jessie queen? How does Watu have such a bad development? Oh, it's just the opening. I think there were a lot of critical decisions to be made, and he's made the right ones so far. But that position is far from easy, and also far from decisive either. So we'll see. All right, so c6, e3, general development, bishop d6, and maybe bishop g3 here. He takes it. So Matvey takes it. I think Calvin actually plays this line himself. He plays the exchange, though maybe the Catalan, I'm not sure. Queen f3, and eventually probably h3 as well. The queen. Ooh, he wants to exchange. So he's very happy, very happy exchanging in this position. And after bishop f5, just trying to counterattack this diagonal, because white was putting a crazy amount of pressure there. And here we have where all the exchanges took place. So the queens are off the board, and now it's just all up to technical play, positioning your pieces correctly, making sure your pawns are both connected, and also reducing the number of weaknesses, creating weaknesses in your opponent's camp. So it is far from easy. I like this rook c1 move, very strong. And the use of these knights are going to be very difficult to combat, I know for sure. I think we will expect a b3 in this position. I thought b3 was not a bad move here. Yeah, I don't think b3 is all that bad. Knight f4 seems to be recommended, but perhaps in anticipation for c4, you don't have to prevent it. You can just push it. You can just push your pawn to b3 later, because the knight's not doing anything there. I think the point of knight to f4 is to reposition the knight, but also get the king to e2. So in an endgame where the queens are off the board, you don't have to castle, especially if your rooks are already on very strong open or semi-open files. You can just place your king on a square and near the center, still keeping it safe, but where your rooks are connected. I think rooks are always best when connected. Being timid is bad on the 64 squares, sure. Is Calvin related to Robin? Calvin and Robin are married. So Robin was previously Robin van Niekerk, and they got married a couple years ago, and they are now Robin and Calvin Klaassen. I love it when chess players, chess couples end up, have their little happy endings, happy ever after vibes. We can write a little cute story about all the chess couples in the world. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Okay, I've caught up in chat, at least. I know bow ties. But we have a number of chess couples in the South African chess scene. We have woman FIDE master Lauren Willenberg, who was Lauren van Niekerk, married to Craig Willenberg, the game we saw on board 1 here, the player playing white. And we also have Denise Boer, who's a woman international master, who married candidate master Lyndon Boer. There were some other chess couples, I think, that I have not mentioned. But yeah, it's always nice to see that. Were you at the wedding? I was not at the wedding. No, I was not at the wedding. What is the strongest African couple? I don't know. I have no idea. It's a good question. Johan Klaassen? Okay. In the Americas or in South Africa? All right, so moving on to more games. I think this was the last move that was played. Let's just double check. Yeah, so knight d6, and now Matvey is thinking. Calvin has used quite a lot of his time, and I think Matvey knows that he has now the time to think up. Ooh, I think we missed a lot here. Let's just quickly go through what's been happening. Okay, so c4, we have an English. English has shown to be quite popular these days. I think it's because it's quite tricky to combat the English opening in terms of looking for an advantage, after the first 10 moves with black, or not even an advantage, just trying to equalize. Bishop e7 and then bishop d6 by Charlton. Okay, so he wants to provoke takes and then take on a8, but of course, I wonder what the move is that should have been played, because the engine gives Regan quite an advantage here. Apparently e4. So this is a critical position. So after knight to c4, captures on d4, and knight to b5. Knight to b5. So I assume he knows that he will get this pawn back, and maybe even this pawn. So he's just putting a lot of pressure on the enemy king, taking advantage of the fact that the knight hasn't moved yet from b8. If this rook could move to c8, I think the situation would be a little bit different. Bishop c5, and knight takes d4, leaving that knight on c4. Wow, what a flex. Okay, knight has come out to c6, and now things might be a little bit more tricky. Rook comes back. I guess you could capture on c4, and after capturing on c6, play rook c8. But he hasn't. Queen a4 has been played. Still putting a lot of pressure. I'm getting a little bit nervous here. And bishop d7. Bishop d7. And here Regan could easily play knight d6 if he wanted to. I suppose also just move the knight away, but he has to analyze and take a look at all the intermediate moves that could be played with the knight moving, attacking the queen with the bishop. So he just has to be a little bit careful there. But this pawn looks like it's almost lost, just given you can also play knight e3 here. So yeah, he has to move the knight, but where to move the knight is a whole different question. Regan has 48 minutes versus Charlton's 1 hour and 18 minutes. Perhaps he's just a very fast player. Yesterday we saw, I think 22 moves into the game, he still had an hour and 33 minutes on the clock, so barely spent any time, where Matvey Rogov had mere seconds left. He had a ton of time and they drew the game, so he's definitely a strong player. He knows what he's doing. That's quite crazy. c4 would be explosive. See what you did there. Grishik Lagno for sure. Well, I think he meant Africa, but I don't think Grishik and Lagno are African. I think, yeah, in the world, Grishik Lagno are strong contenders. I think Kostyuk and her husband are also strong contenders. Hari Krishna and Nadia are strong contenders. Sopiko and Giri. Yes, Anish Sopiko. Yes. Jesse and Bekbek are the strongest African couple. Yes, we are. They're the strongest African couple because Bekbek and I are camel wives. I forgot about that. Alrighty. So let's move on to the next game. We have Edward Potgieter versus Tyler Nevin. And Edward is playing with the white pieces here versus Tyler. And let's go through the opening really quickly. So we have a Sicilian. We've seen a lot of Sicilians. It's a very popular opening. Oh, so after knight g4, bishop c1 was played, and after queen b6. What can even happen here? Bishop to b5. Bishop d7 was not liked. So what are you supposed to play? Supposed to play e5, putting pressure on f2. What happens after e5? I'm curious. Ooh, knight d5. Queen takes d4. Knight c7. How is this still equal? I do not understand. Okay, he has to give up the exchange. I don't think that's very easy decision to make. Okay, anyway, decided against it. And after h3, he survived. That was crazy. Queen b7, queen d2, and c5. The engine did not like, because now white can play e5. And he played it. He played e5. Captures, knight takes, queen c8. And the ball is in white's court. It suggests moves like a4, b4. I suppose the black king's not castled and he probably wants to put more pressure on the position that way. He could play bishop g5. I definitely would consider a move like this. But it's obviously wrong because of the fact that the knight is hanging. So I was just testing myself. I was testing chess.com, testing chat, you know. You don't like allowing knight g4. Yeah, it can be annoying. Ooh, Hikaru and his wife. I forgot about that. That is a new chess couple that we need to also take into account. But Atuza is playing a lot more active now. Actively, rather. So maybe Hikaru and his wife. Though Grishuk and Lugno. That would be an interesting matchup. We should call it the Chess Couples Championship and have all the top chess couples in the world play and have some prize fund as well and commentators. We have to have chess couples as commentators. I will be behind the scenes broadcasting it, putting it out there. I'm putting a patent on that idea as well. Lol, Dazo, good to see you. You don't like allowing queen takes c5. Yeah, that's not good. You sat next to her, she seems nice. You sat next to Atuza. She does seem like a very sweet lady, and she also streams now. I'm yet to follow her on Twitch. I want to. Dinara Wagner. Is Dinara married to a chess player? I decided on their last name via an online blitz game. On Chess24, she was better after the opening, but he won in the end. Really? I would want to keep my last name regardless of marriage. I feel like your name is also your identity, and if people know you as such, don't change it regardless of how traditional it is. I feel like it's a very I don't want my name to change. Maybe get married one day, but not my name, no. They're both German champs. Now Wagners are even stronger than them. Dennis Wagner. Mm-hmm. Well, that's awesome. Good for them. Dinara's been doing really well, though, recently. They say marriage would be good for the female chess player, but bad for the male chess player. We're yet to see that theory take action, or being tested, rather. But if the other one is named January, then we have to change our surnames entirely to leap year. Jesse leap year. XYZ leap year. I'm joking. There's a very low chance of me marrying someone with a month as a surname. That's for sure. Yeah. I don't know many people. Well, I do know quite a few people with a surname of a month, but most of them are either female or much, much, much older than me, married already. So I'd rather not. Okay. So next board we have Charles de Villiers versus Kenny Willenberg. Alrighty. August. I don't know if I know in August. Charles has been playing b3. And then I was speaking to someone and they told me that Charles has been playing b3. I said, oh, they're a cowboy. And then I quickly remembered that not everyone knows the joke of the b3 cowboy. And they like laughed, but in a confusing way. It's like confused laughter, like, you know? So I didn't want to explain myself and I was like, all right, check you later, bye. So b3 cowboy. What surname do you see yourself marrying if not taking? What surname? I don't have a vision for it. I guess I should have started with that. If I ever do end up getting married, I think it will be to someone who obviously respects the fact that I want to keep my surname and that I know that their identity is their own as well. Don't expect them to take my surname. I feel like that's on them. After they married, Dinara got 2 GM norms and both won the German Masters last month. Dennis even ahead of Bluebaum, Donchenko, and Svein brothers. Whoa, that's amazing. So they are the tried and tested experiment. Amazing. That's the dream team. But I've always heard that working with someone who is better than you in chess, but is also close to you in terms of like relationship or family, is very difficult because there are so many emotions involved in that sort of, even working relationship. They say don't mix business with pleasure. And a lot of chess players who have family members who play still end up getting trainers from outside. For me, I always thought that it would be the other way around, that if you were related to a chess player who's much better than you, good chances that you will also end up being a good chess player if you're passionate about the game. But I was proven wrong. What if they want to take your surname? That's a funny thought. I won't say no, because it means that I will still stay whatever I am. Not whatever I am. I would stay Jessie February. Is that usually done in ZA? In Belgium it's nearly impossible. Well, I don't know. I think it is possible. It's also 2023. And whatever year I do get married in the future will be it's 2024, sorry. Lol. It's like that mistake you make on paper but out loud. Okay, so let's look at the opening. F4. We see an F4, guys, and a check. G6, queen comes back, and queen e7. So Charles went in for a check, attacking on d5, and after bishop e6, probably wants to long castle here, and e4 is being played. I wonder if long castles is the move here for white. So apparently knight f3 is good. I don't know if long castles is good, taking is good, and e4 is suggested, but still was given a question mark. That's strange. What is the best first name for a February? January. Because then when you're at school and you get an achievement and they're reading it off the page, they're like, January, February. And then you like get up and you go and you're like, March. Then you march to the stage. Get it? January, February. And then you march there. So funny. I'm so hilarious. Valentina. Oh, because February is Valentine's Day. Gotcha. What are your name ideas for children? I have a name idea list for children and kids. Well, children and dogs and pets and stuff. But I don't think I would ever share it. It's embarrassing. Like, I don't think I want kids one day. But that's obviously a big decision to make. Yet I still have a list. Oh! Oh my gosh! I'm so confused. He took the pawn. Apparently e takes d5. Maintains a good advantage. Oh, February versus September. That was nice. April, February sounds fun. Or June. June, February. That's funny. I mean, I would assume that if I were to have kids after marriage, that my kids would then take the surname of their father, maybe. I don't have plans for kids, but I still have a name picked out. Ooh, okay. If you share one name, I'll share one name. That's the deal. That is the deal. Okay, so e takes d5 was the last move that was played, and of course if this, and this will be very hard to castle long for black. White can still castle. Well, I guess not now. Well, after they take the knight, takes and maybe knight f3. Or takes first. Because takes check. Lyra. Or Lira. Next February. I'm gonna name my kid 29th. 29th February. And I'll only see them once every 4 years. Hello, Jesse in chat. Hello. Okay, I'm about to share one of the names that I have. I can't believe I'm doing this on a tournament broadcast, but yeah, here we are. Okay. So yours is a girl name, right? So I will share one of my girl names. Hallie. One of the girl names that I've written down is Hallie. Hally. I really like that name. You really do have a list. I do. I'm sorry. I'm such a girl. Yeah. It's stuff that you just think about. And when I read books or I watch things, I'm like, oh, that's actually a really nice name. Yeah, and I just write it down because I started with a dog list for names because when I went to go look at the litter of puppies of huskies, there were girls and there were boys, and I had my pick, and so I made a list of girl and boy names, and I was like, ooh, this one would actually be nice for like a person. Nice, yeah. Vlad's birthday is actually 29th Feb. Okay, so he's actually a quarter of the age he claims to be. Halle Berry, Hallie. Not Hallie, but close. I know a Haley. Or is that a Haley? Halle February. Yes. Halle is a cute name. But also it's Halle Berry, no? I'll be playing in the Netherlands on your birthday. Ooh, what tournaments in the Netherlands? That sounds like fun. Okay, so Charles ended up taking on c6. And now... Ooh, we're seeing some results already. Brooklyn Waguta beat Luto Mfazwe. 1500 versus 1900. Hang on a second. That is a huge rating difference. Okay, so players have played quite quickly here. Okay, I'm familiar with this. Rook takes is interesting. What are we looking at exactly? You can just play queen takes a2, no? Queen takes a2. Brilliancy. Queen c3. Queen b1. Knight. What is going on? Oh, wow. Well played to Brooklyn. Well played to Brooklyn. That's incredible. Billy Chess! How you doing, Elias? Good to see you in chat. Good to see you. And a draw between Waylon Brander and Jura Suje. So they agreed to a draw quite early on over there. But let's go back to board one for a second. Because you know things are getting pretty spicy when Kanya enters sport mode. I'm good, thank you. It was really nice to check out your stream the other day. Of course, I don't understand French, but I'm trying to learn the language. So I stuck around longer than I should have. Hayley Williams, Vakanzi. Ooh, that's a strong tournament. Good luck. Well, I don't know if you said you're playing. Okay. I've always wanted to play in a strong event like that, or at least work at an event like that. So maybe I will contact the organizer because I know who they are. Oh, Elias, thank you so much for the sub. 14 months. 14 months. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's good to see you once again. How's your chess going? Are you playing anytime soon? Um, what's this tournament? This tournament is the Cape Town Masters happening in Cape Town. It's in the name, so you know, in Sea Point. Also, I wanted to say that I'm playing in the Malakoff Open in Paris in April. So I don't know if you're also taking a look at a tournament, but I will be there. And yeah, I'm excited to go. My mum is joining me. Malakoff. Yes, it's a strong tournament, is it not? It's like one game a day, 90, 30, and so on. This one's an open tournament, yes. But only a few of the boards are on DGT. It's near your house. That's incredible. Yeah, so at the moment I'm looking for the accommodation. I might be able to get some accommodation at a reasonable price or for free. So after that, I will start planning flights and visas and stuff like that. So I'm excited. I will definitely be there in April. So nice you play in France. I have never been to France. I've never been to Paris, so it'll be my first time. The worst thing is I've traveled through France. So I traveled through Air France and was at Parisian airport, but that was about it. Paris, not nice. That's a good joke. If you need anything, just text me. Okay, we can chat. Definitely chat. And you can recommend some places for me to go. And if there are hotels or guest houses to stay in, some recommendations would be great. So thank you. I missed TwitchCon last year. It was way too expensive to go. And it just wasn't at an ideal time of year as well. My mom's birthday was around then. And we wanted to go to Paris for her birthday, just because it was a really big birthday as well. And so we'll go this year to celebrate. Okay, so next up, we can check out, I don't think we saw Tiziano's game versus James Dinham. Okay, they're both sitting on about an hour, 15 minutes. Another Sicilian. Oh, Bishop c4 Sicilian. We see here Tiziano playing. After castling Bishop e7, Knight f6, c3. And it's quickly turning into a sort of setup which is familiar to us. The Rilo pairs. Perhaps Tiziano plays Rilo pairs. Jenny! How are you? We're all good. I'm gonna take a break soon. It's very warm in here. Yeah. Knight c4. I thought takes first and then knight c4 would be good. Do you need anything? You good? I'm not done yet. Okay, doesn't matter. Yeah. You missed your sister's birth because of TwitchCon. I see you got your priorities straight. Yeah, so knight takes e5 seems to be the suggested move order. And after queen, well, I suppose you don't really know what to do after queen here. Well, stop b5 first, so a4. And then pile pressure on the pawn. a6, a5, because if b5 en passant. Bishop b5 to try and get rid of this knight. And okay, I wouldn't know what to do here either. So knight c4. And of course, black wants to play d5 in the Sicilian. Bishop c6, bishop c2. I'm surprised he captured on e4. Knight d7, e5, knight f8. Okay, the knight wants to go to g6. And wow, what a move. What a move. So of course the plan is to take, and if h6, bishop takes, g5 happened. Trying to get rid of the very strong knight. So it looks like his plan is after takes, and then pick up the rook. But I'm not sure. Because the knight will be here, the rook can go here, the bishop is beaming down here. I suppose maybe it's just really bad for black if they take. But nice move, I guess. Rook d8. c4. Rook d4. Bishop back. I wonder if there should be some sacrifice. But no. Okay, rook c8. Bishop attacks a rook. And that bishop has moved more times than I have blinked today. So that'll be an interesting game to keep an eye on as well. Okay, let's take a squiz quickly at the other current positions. We have Ethan Samuels versus Sherwin Klainsmith, with this position looking heavily in Ethan's favor. Let's count the material quick. We have, okay, it's equal material. I think chess.com counts it for us. Knight a6 being the last move that Sherwin has made. I think against a player who prefers tactics and very dubious sacrifices, you'd want to play as solidly as possible. And it looks like Ethan has closed things down quite well, which will most probably make Sherwin uncomfortable. But he has a way of opening up positions just to mix things up very well. Okay, then we have Manentle Ntwabe versus Shabir Bawuddin. Shabs is a little under pressure in terms of space. I would have definitely given my bishop for that knight. Though I think he has other ideas in terms of trying to put pressure on e4, etc. And lastly, Bongoletu versus Giron. Lots of pressure for Giron right now, but somehow Bongoletu is looking good. The knight on d8 is a little funny looking. So perhaps rook ae1, trying to get the king to move. And then the knight can't move, of course, because b7 is hanging. Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll see how that unravels later on. We'll go back to board one. This is still the current position I think Craig has been thinking for a really long time. The last move, let's just quickly see. Okay. Kanya spent 2 seconds to play this move, knight d3. Just putting pressure on b2. Also a way to try and take over the open file, because some piece has to commit to the b2 square unless white pushes the pawn. But even that is a very difficult decision to make because of how strong this bishop on the diagonal is. Going to play like f6, and white needs to recollect in terms of their piece position and development. So just to coordinate better. So we'll come back to that. All right, so this will be our first break. And hello, Jenny. Thank you. I'm coming right now. I'm going to take a break. Thank you, Jenny.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, yes, it's my mom. Jen, come say hi.
Hello.
Come. So this is Jenny, everyone, for those of you who don't know. And for those of you for those of you who do know, this is my mom, Jenny.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here.
Hello, everybody.
I almost locked her in the house this morning because I told her to stay home and rest, but she doesn't want to listen.
I want to be here.
Yes, she does.
Hi, wonderful.
I think Jenny is just a fangirl of all the top chess players, really.
Yes.
That's why she's here. She's
And
not here
chat,
for me.
and
chat.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank Jen. I'll be there now. All right. Time for you to catch up with Harry Potter and Dumbledore. They're about to get a fake Horcrux. Okay. Well, good luck with the reading. If you can lurk, please do. It'll help the stream a little bit. Get some numbers. Yeah, I'll probably stick around and chat just for like 10 minutes, trying to sort out the sponsor logos, which just need to be rearranged. And then I will be back as soon as I can. I will see you soon, chat. And yeah, enjoy. And see you soon.
like bonjour.
and I am back to check out the game. Sorry I've been gone so long. We have been trying to sort out the new sort of interview setup. I have some help from the photographer from this event. He also wanted to conduct some interviews. So we'll be collaborating on that project, also producing some better quality interviews going forward for this event, and hopefully have more interviews. I have 3 interviews that I want to edit. Still, the one I did with Watu Kabesi, the one I did with Burton van Staden, and the one I did with James Denham from yesterday. So yeah. Hi Nightwolf, I'm back. Kieran, I'm back. Waterfall, thank you so much for modding. How does white counter against G3? Okay, so let's check out the games. I'm also wanting to see what's going on. Looks like Craig and Kanya are roughly equal at the moment. I know we did miss quite a bit, so looking at the evaluation, it seems like the engine says it's equal, and the material is equal too. Players have opposite color bishops, and often when material is equal and there are opposite color bishops, it means a draw, but it's not obviously a guaranteed draw. So we'll see if players agree on a draw soon. And then, of course, we have the game between Jan Karsten and Watu Kabesi. It looks like Watu's under a lot of pressure in this position, surprisingly. And Watu takes a step out of the playing hall for a moment. And the last move that Watu had made is also knight to d5. And my question, I suppose, is what happens after g3? And I think I saw that as well in chat. What happens after g3? And yes, well, the queen is indeed hanging. So white's pieces are holding things together quite nicely for now. Of course, if rook e2 or something along those lines, there's knight to f6. If rook h6, that is a whole different ballpark. I think rook h6, knight takes f4, queen h2 check. Okay, so maybe in this position, I'm not entirely sure what would happen. But yeah, it's up to Jan to decide here what is best for this position. Another move I was thinking is queen h4. Then I think, oh, it shows that white's better after queen h4. Queen h4? And white is better? Question mark? How is white better after this? Apparently g3 is the best move. That doesn't seem right. g3. Queen takes? Oh, there's a rook on a2. I completely missed this. There's a rook on a2. There is a rook on a2. So, queen h4 runs into g3 immediately. But Watu still has to find that move. That is wilding. Absolutely wilding. Yeah. Hello, are you kidding me? Good to see you. And Danny, first time chatter. Rook h6 wins. Indeed. Alrighty. So we'll look at the third board, which we haven't seen yet, between Kelvin and Matvey. And yeah, so I've also asked whoever's in the playing hall to let me know if there is an interview. I just have to keep tabs with what's going on. My mum has a visitor, a friend visiting, in the other room, so they will be chatting up a storm while we are here. I hope you guys have been enjoying the broadcast so far. Sorry I haven't. I took a very long break. I shouldn't have taken such a long break. Thank you, Nixu, for the follow. Nixu Carnivore. I am assuming you part of the esports organization of Nixu. They have pretty cool merch, and I really enjoy some of the projects that come out of. I mean, that's a great thing about, you know, an organization. You are also putting up a sort of united front with a bunch of other creators and gamers that you can easily create some content with. And that's something I want to do in the future as well. Do some projects with other content creators in South Africa, not just chess players, of course. I would love to do like player profiles, in-person profiles, so like interviews, quite long ones where you can get a good amount of information about their lives and, you know, almost create like a miniature documentary about people. I think that would be awesome. Yeah. Hello from Israel, nice here. Well-deserved break. Keanu Cup, thank you so much for the follow. Matt Feyrogov and Calvin Klaassen are below 20 minutes on the clock. And how many moves have they made so far? Only 24 moves have been made. And the material count is equal as well. Let's go back to Craig versus Kanye West. How is everyone in chat doing? I think most of you are probably lurking and hanging out, just watching. And then we have this. I want to see what move is going to be made. This is going to be very interesting. Good. Nightwolf, I'm glad. Please don't shout, lowercase is fine. Oh my god. Rook h6 was played. Rook h6 is on the board. This is terrifying. This is heartbreaking. Black offer a draw? Did he offer a draw? Maxwell, did he really offer a draw? Kanya offered a draw. Okay, sorry, I didn't know. I'm very surprised if Jan offers a draw in a position like that. It would shock me. Okay, rook e2 was played here. And it says minus 16. Minus 16. So queen h1, king f2. I think just g3. And if king e1, queen takes f1, king takes, and rook h1 checkmate. So yeah, if this is sort of the series of events that take place, this is just mate. So the king has to go here. I don't see any other way. This would obviously be mate in 1. Queen h5. So it's tough. You have to give a rook in this position. To castle with the bishop. So if the king ends up here then, I guess. Yeah. Unfortunately, Monster Frick. Also, hello. Good to see you. Alright. Kanya offered a draw. And this is the position that Craig has to ponder on that draw offer. Kanya would then be on 6 points. If Jan wins, he will also be on 6 points. I'm not sure what the tiebreak is, if number of victories is indeed the second tiebreak, because they drew their game. It's either, greater number of victories or something along the lines of Sonnabon or, Buchholz. Tie breaks are always really tricky because you feel like you deserve it yourself, but then there's always something standing in the way. What happens when people draw? Do they play again? So there's a total of 9 rounds, 9 games, and each game is played against someone different. So your result against that person could be, or against anyone, could lead to a certain amount of points out of 9. So you'll end up with maybe 6 out of 9, 5 out of 9, 4 out of 9, and then you will be put in a rank against other people who played 9 games. I'm just really bad at explaining. Let me show you instead. So this is just a quick one. It's obviously very scuffed. A quick one just to explain. So if I go to the ranking list on chess results, you'll see here that Kanya Mazibuko has 5.5 out of 6, and then 5 out of 6, 4.5 out of 6. So everyone's played 6 games. Well, most people have played 6 games, and you get ranked that way. If you draw against someone, then you just get half a point from it. You don't play them again. If you beat someone and they end up performing badly, you could still win the tournament. There's no guarantee, but if you beat someone, that they will no longer be able to overtake you. So that's quite interesting. Yeah. It's an interesting question. I mean, a lot of sports where, you have a draw, you, I suppose, play again or go into like sudden death. If it's a match, then of course you play again. Like the World Cup is a knockout. And if you draw both of your classical games, you play again and you play rapid. Is there like a top 3 afterwards? Yes. So you have your gold, silver, and bronze. But actually, I think there are prizes up to fifth or sixth place that we were talking about yesterday. So first prize is 12,000 Rand. Second prize is 10,000 Rand, and so on. In Swiss tournaments, there are usually tie breaks, right? No playoffs. Tie breaks, yes. No playoffs. We used to have playoffs for other open tournaments. It all depends on how the tournament is organized, because it's always fun to have the tie breaks happen. It's obviously more difficult if you are ending up on the same score as someone who's high rated and more experienced in different formats than you are, because then it's an almost guaranteed loss of that position and you've worked so hard for it. So you want to sort of rely on other tie breaks as well. Unless you're really confident in your rapid and blitz skills, then you want to go to tie breaks. Well, not tie breaks, but you want to go to playoffs rather. It looks like I got an interview. Okay, let's go. I have an interview. I just want to double check who the interview is for. Oh, they agreed on a draw. So now we are left with board number 2. Looks like G3 was the last move that was made. And now Watu has to make a decision. But we probably won't stay on this game for very long. We'll go over to Calvin Klaasen's game against Matvey Rugov. But you guys can keep an eye on the whole cams and let me know what's happened. What did I miss? Okay, so I'll be back soon. I'm just gonna go and help out with the interview. I'll be conducting it, asking questions and stuff, and then I will be back soon. All right, everyone. I'll see you later. Hello everyone. Looks like most of the games have finished, and sorry I've been so absent. I've been running around doing some interviews. We got one with Kanya Mazibuko, we got one with Jan Karsten, we got one with Craig Willenberg rather. So it's been a very, very productive morning / afternoon. I hope you guys are doing okay and surviving without me. I'm pretty sure you are just enjoying the whole cameras. And there we have Calvin shaking hands with Matt Fay, Rogoff. They drew their game. I think they were discussing after, getting the result. And it was a draw indeed. Right, sorry I'm out of breath, I've been running around. Yeah, but I'm back for now. Good to see you again after the YouTube stream. QWERTY, it's always good to see you. I've been live twice a day for a couple days now, and Resignation as soon as Jesse leaves. There was Resignation, that's why I switched games. I was there to sort of check out the last moments of that game between Jan Karsten and Watu Kabesi. But alright, I think there haven't been as many messages in chat since. But I think we'll also call it there, since all the games that were on screen are no longer, live. And if they are, there's one more game that's still ongoing that you can just check out on chess.com or Lichess. The broadcast is available. But yes, we have been live for 3.5 hours, and it was a very productive and good 3.5 hours at that. Very awesome games to come from this tournament so far, and even more instructive positions that we can sit and use as educational material in future. Cyber Analyst, thank you so much for the follow, and yeah, thank you so much for the support this stream. I promise to be more present next stream. Like I said, one of the reasons why I haven't been as present now is just because I've finally got some help from Tando, who is the photographer at this event. He's helping me conduct the interviews, and we have a little bit of a better setup. We've stolen the kitchen, we've taken over. So we will go and raid someone who is streaming. Looks like there's someone named Rosie Chess. Not entirely sure who that is. There's also someone called Drama Queen, who we don't follow. Let's go follow her. I've been following and raiding some new people as of late, and she's got quite a big viewership as well. And I think she's thanking me for the follow. I can't really see hear what's going on rather. I can lip read. I'm very good at lip reading. You can say anything and I can guess what you're saying. Probably gonna get it wrong, but at least it's a guess nonetheless. Okay, it's called Drama Queen 555. Yasha, thank you so much for the follow. And there's a motorbike. Blessing our ears. When is round 8? Round 8 will be starting at 4 p.m. South African time. So make sure you are here at 4 p.m. We'll go live just before that to watch the players be seated. Since I will be here until then, I will also be drafting the article for day 3, since that hasn't gone out yet, edit some photos and so on. So I will see you soon, and yeah, behave and be back later, please. You organized Twitch Chess League last year. Ah, okay. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't really recognize them. Okay. Thank you, Drama Queen, for the follow back. I think she's followed us back. Okay. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.